Hi everyone! So today I wanted to share with you some of my favorite products from CREDO Beauty. By the time this video is up, their annual Friends and Family sale will be live, which is 20% off of I think most everything in the store. I just read the fine print and the 20% off does not apply to Kypris or Josh Rosebrook, so just keep that in mind when you go in to shop. I was brand education manager for Fur for about a year, and then prior to that I worked at Kjær Weis for a year. So it's been 2 years sort of going to CREDO stores, and especially when I was with Fur I was traveling, so I've been to all the CREDOs except the one in La Jolla. I love CREDO's selection of brands. I feel like they do a great job at curating. Sometimes they carry hard to find brands, brands that have limited distribution in the US, brands that you might find at your Space NK or your Sephora. Everyone that I've ever met that works at CREDO really knows their stuff, is super passionate about products, and is super passionate about understanding how plant-based formulas and naturals and green beauty, if you will, how they perform differently than conventional beauty and how to get the most out of your green beauty plant-based products, because there is a bit of a learning curve sometimes with like when you're switching from a cream moisturizer to an oil or silicone-based foundation to one that uses plant oils. There can be a learning curve, and I feel like CREDO does a great job of making sure that people are educated in how to use their products, which is really big for me because I've worked in brand education and I love to do that. This video isn't sponsored, but I am a CREDO affiliate, so if you decide that you want to get something from the Friends and Family sale, you can always shop with me if you choose to. I will earn a small commission if you end up making a purchase. So I guess without further ado, let's go ahead and dive in. Let's start with skincare, and I want to mention the Mara Algae Enzyme Cleansing Oil. And ooh, got some fingerprints on my bottle. Enzyme-based oil cleanser that truly feels like it resurfaces the skin, especially if you put it on dry skin and kind of give it a massage for a few minutes. I really feel like my dead skin starts to loosen, my skin texture starts to feel smoother. So I have the ingredients pulled up, and this has a combination of papaya enzymes, pineapple enzymes, bromelain, grapefruit extract, some fermented pumpkin, and I mean, it's really effective. It's not something I can personally use every day. It's more of like a deep cleansing and resurfacing treatment for me once or twice a week. But for what it is in that context, it's absolutely phenomenal. It's a nice boost to my regular skincare ritual. And I've played with the Mara oils, but not enough to really, I guess, have an opinion on them. But I do really like the cleanser and will continue to use this. Next, we've got Indie Lee CoQ10 Toner, which is one of my all-time favorites. I've been using this for 5 years at this point. And I love that it's refreshing, antioxidant rich, but it also has like a sort of cooling, hydrating feel that isn't too heavy. It's beautiful cucumber, sage, CoQ10. So you can either spray this on a cotton pad and wipe it over the skin like a traditional toner, or spray it on the face and then press in. Or what I also like to do is use it as a face mist throughout the day because it doesn't interfere with any makeup. It's quite light. To me, this is the kind of thing where when I don't have a bottle on hand, I sort of crave it. I miss that crisp, fresh scent. I miss the hydration. I miss the glow. So it's the kind of thing I will keep repurchasing and probably always have on hand because I just love it that much. Next, let's talk about Supernal Cosmic Glow Oil. So this has been one of my favorite products to use this year, and I had first heard about it through seeing it at a CREDO beauty store. I mentioned this in my September favorites video, and you will be hearing about this again sometime later this year. But it's so well-rounded and just does what it's supposed to do so well. It's sort of in a league of its own for me. I've mentioned before that this is like my perfect facial oil and that it's glowy, but it's still kind of light. It has moisture, but it's not too rich. It has a beautiful, I'm literally getting goosebumps, just like literally getting goosebumps thinking about the blue tansy in here because it's so beautiful. And I love it. I can use it during the day. It layers underneath sunscreen nicely. It layers underneath richer creams. It does quite a bit all on its own. So if I'm feeling kind of like I want a simple skincare routine, cleanse, tone, oil, go to bed, this will absolutely get the job done. I couldn't be happier. Look at that glow. Oh, So if you've been curious about it, this could be a good time to check it out while the Friends and Family sale is active. Last but not least, for skincare, we've got Waleeda Skin Food, and this is a really thick, rich, almost buttery, balmy cream that is great for your supremely dry, parched, rough, flaky skin, so like elbows, knees, feet. If my hands are feeling really dry after I've done the dishes or something like that, I'll put a nice thick coat of this on, and it is thick. Someone with really dry skin would probably appreciate this the most because it is quite thick and nourishing and emollient. In the dead of winter, I'll reach for this every once in a while, but most of the time it's sort of my SOS for fixing those stubborn dry patches. Next, let's talk about a product I use every single day, fur oil. I say the 5 B's: brows, beard, bust, bush, and bum. The 5 B's, what more could you want, right? And this is light, silky, it works on both skin and hair, and I find that doing long-term application of fur oil, daily application, really helps to make my hair a little bit more manageable. So when I go to shave it or trim it, it's a little bit easier. I don't get as many ingrowns. I don't get as much irritation when I shave, especially when I shave. There's this beautiful lemongrass and lemon aroma. It's really light in texture. The base of this is grape and jojoba oil. Maybe you can see compared to the Supernal, which purposely has a glow, whereas the fur oil has its own sort of natural sheen that tends to die down once it's fully absorbed. So you can put this on pubic hair, for example, wait a few minutes and then get dressed and not have to feel like you have this residue that's then gonna stain your clothes or anything like that. I will say one of my favorite things about fur oil is how long it takes to finish a bottle, even with daily application. Skin and hair, it will last you quite a while. Let's do makeup. The Exa Beauty foundation. I think Exa Beauty is CREDO's sort of in-house color cosmetics brand. They make a primer and the foundation. I like the primer, but the foundation is so phenomenal that to me that's where I would put most of my focus. This is shade 380 Alyssa, which was absolutely perfect for me in the summer. I'm losing a little bit of my tan as we move into fall, winter, so I'm actually gonna get a shade that matches my skin tone a little bit better so I can continue to wear this all year, basically, because I love it that much. I would say it's a good medium coverage foundation. You can build it up to maybe like a medium plus. I wouldn't call it medium full and definitely not full coverage, but it does even you out quite nicely. It blends like a dream. I think that's one of my favorite parts about the foundation is how easy it is to spread it on the skin, how natural it looks. I did do an Instagram live video trying the foundation for the first time, like a first impression. So if you're interested in seeing that, I'll link that below so you can kind of get a feel for that. But I was blown away. I get pretty much all day wear with this if I set it with some powder. I mean, you can see it is on top of a sort of a glowy oil, but on its own, it has this beautiful sheen, a slight grapefruit essential oil scent. Truly, truly beautiful. And again, it definitely exceeded my expectations. They do have 43 shades, but I think they could still use a little bit more variety and depth in the deeper tones. They have like one deep dark and a few deeps. I would like to see that expanded a little bit more and to have as much variety as the lighter shades do. Then we've got Kosas blushes. They color in light creams. I've never really tried, I've only played with the powders. I haven't actually applied them on myself, but I really, really like these. As you can see, mine's quite well loved. It's almost like a slight copper. It's not quite a bronze. There is some peachiness. There's a golden sheen and a definite warmth. It's not quite a bronzer shade, I would say. I just really like the Kosas formula because you get both the highlighter and the blush in one. It comes with a mirror and they're blendable. That's my favorite part is, you know, they don't take a huge effort to apply, get blended out, make it look like seamless application. I definitely get that. I'm not spending an hour and a half trying to get my blush blended out, which I love. Let's do some fragrance and then some hair care. So I've got by Rosie Jane James, one of my favorite scents of the year. It's a beautiful sort of overripe fleshy fig and that delicate heady gardenia. It's a little bit sweet, it's a little bit sensual in that it has this fleshiness to it from the fig. Yeah, it's like somewhere between sensual and cozy to me. And I personally get pretty linear wear, so I feel like the fig and the gardenia stay pretty consistent as I wear it, and I get pretty much all day wear with this. Next is a DedCool Milk, and this is a layering fragrance, so you can use this on its own as sort of a skin scent enhancer. It's more or less just like a very beautiful smooth skin musk, and this you can layer with maybe a fragrance that's a little too strong for you or doesn't have enough longevity to it, and the fat, thick, heavy base notes are going to kind of carry those lighter, more fleeting notes and kind of help them project or stay a little bit better. And this can also take down a fragrance that's too loud. It can kind of soften it down and smooth it out a little bit. It's a nice sort of thing to have in your arsenal, but also if you just like to wear fragrances that sort of smell like you and smell like your natural skin versus, again, perfume, you might really like this. And then last but not least is Heretic Flower P, which is one of my favorites. One of my favorite Heretic scents for sure. Pretty potent violet leaf. There's some orange blossom in there. There's a little vetiver. Inspired by the back rooms of a flower market, which I very much get. You get a leaf and stem-like quality from the violet leaf, so that green, sort of sharp, slightly bitter. Sort of would probably call it more of an evening fragrance, although I'm literally wearing it right now. I wore it to go vote. Last but not least, we've got hair, and I want to mention Reverie Milk leave-in treatment, and this is sort of like a lotion consistency that you apply on damp hair, either as like a leave-in conditioner, or you can use it on dry hair to soften, kind of replenish, add some moisture and some shine. I really like it. It's taken me actually a minute to warm up to it. I think now that my hair is a little bit longer and needs a little bit more moisture than it used to, I appreciate this even more. For something that is thin and lotiony, it does pack, you know, fairly moisturizing punch, so I can get away with maybe 3 or 4 pumps throughout all of my hair. And it's got this beautiful sandalwood. It smells similar to their fragrance if you smelled the Reverie fragrance. Patchouli, woody, but very nice. You know, it makes sense that they made a fragrance out of the scent because it is really beautiful. And I really like it. I haven't tried really any of the other Reverie products, but I really like this. So those are some of my favorite products from CREDO Beauty. Again, if you are interested in shopping CREDO or shopping the sale, you can always do that with me. And as always, if you have questions, need some recommendations, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. I'd be happy to help, happy to answer those. And yeah, until my next video, I will talk to you again very soon. Bye.